Hey guys, it's Masterath here, and welcome back to the Global Trophy.
It's time for the next Preliminary League, which comes to you from Asia and Oceania.
Yes, so obviously last week we had the European preliminaries, and we had some very, very interesting teams going through, which I'm sure is going to give Europe a little bit of extra spice to it.
Absolutely, you had the Czech Republic going unbeaten, which was very impressive indeed. And of course, Greece somehow. I mean, after that what happened, Chris? Why did Bulgaria end up in there?
No idea. It's the LFK cock-up. We know this by now. If anyone makes a Global Trophy wiki of that, please just put that in. Why would anyone make a Global Trophy wiki?
I don't know. Someone might.
I would probably at some point, but
Fair
no,
enough.
I haven't got much time on my hands. Jeez, you kidding me? Anyway, so it's time for the Asia and Oceania preliminaries. The Preliminary League. Top 8 teams, just like last week, top 8 teams go through to the Global Trophy qualifiers, but this time the Asia and Oceania qualifiers.
Yep, exactly. Probably a bit of a lower standard than maybe the European section, but there's still some good stuff in there.
Well, these are usually the teams that get like the most goals. So what's the record?
Yeah.
Like 9-0 at the moment?
I think so far.
Yeah, so I think we'll probably see that beaten at this point here.
Yep.
So let's kick off with our dud team. It doesn't matter that they're a dud team, like they stood a chance in the first place. Papua New Guinea.
Oh, Papua New Guinea.
From Oceania.
Yeah, one of the Oceania teams. There's actually more than one.
Yep, they're closely followed by Vanuatu, also from Oceania.
Yep. I don't really know much about Vanuatu.
Yeah. And then Tahiti. Apparently a nice place to go.
I've never been there.
Apparently. I'm sure everywhere's a nice place to go. Well, bar the obvious exceptions that we're not going to mention for political reasons.
Oh dear. We'll never know.
Next, it is our first one coming from Asia, Singapore.
Yeah, Singapore's a nice place to go. A friend of mine used to live in Singapore.
Fair enough.
Yeah, nice place.
Next up, if you really fancy going to shopping areas, but you want to go underwater for them, you gotta go to Maldives.
You mean
Maldives.
Yeah, for God's sake. That was dreadful.
I think that was awesome.
That was awful.
Hey, see, now Europe is sort of like our area, so we know a bit about it. Here, if I can make jokes about it, then that's fine.
Maldives is a beautiful country. Although, isn't that the country that, like, in 20 years is going to, disappear because it's getting eroded away?
I don't know.
I'm sure there's comments. Let me know.
Yes, more comments is good for the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah.
Good. I noticed when I said making jokes on that, and I'm hovering over Malaysia. Let's not go there.
He died.
Yes, let's not go there.
Yeah, he died.
Yes, let's not go there, because everyone's been asking me for my opinion. I've kept it very secret, because I do not want to waste any more of my breath.
I'm in a big group chat with a lot of other robot combat related YouTubers and some competitors as well. And someone brought that up, and I was like, "Oh yeah, me and Anderson are in there." We was like, "Oh yeah, we know that guy. He was a colossal bellend."
True.
Yeah. If anyone knows out there who we're on about, again, leave a comment below.
Yeah.
Or maybe don't. I don't know.
Good for the YouTube algorithm, as I've said.
I don't know about. I don't think he's good for a YouTube algorithm.
That's true. Then again, to be honest, some of my most popular videos at the moment are about him, which is probably not the best thing for my channel.
No.
It's still the top 5 robots that I hate. That's my most popular video so far. Which, I'm a whiny little bitch in it.
You really are.
It was during the bitch era, hell, what can I say? My opinion has changed now, slightly. I still hate most of them, but, I've got more legitimate reasons for it. And I'll add tough as nails to it.
No, I love Tough as Nails.
It's boring.
I love it, it's great.
Now, before we get on to this, I'm just going to say, Tough as Nails as a robot is great, right? It is a great design robot.
To watch, it's boring, yeah.
And everything like that. But Robot Wars is a spectator sport, and that's why I don't like it.
Fair enough.
It's essentially, when Tough as Nails is in the arena, it's a try-harding bitch competition.
but it's an amazing piece of engineering.
It's an amazing bitch.
We'll move on. We'll move on.
Next up, we have New Caledonia back.
Oh, have they got who's their step in?
Their step in is the team that is below them, the Dominican Republic.
Interesting.
So they got no chance.
Yeah.
Well, they might do, you don't know. Next up, it is Afghanistan.
Yes.
They are one of two countries to copy Japan's flag, but change the colour.
Oh, wait, what colour's theirs?
It's dark green background and a red circle.
So it's Bangladesh.
Oh, no, that's Bangladesh. Oh, no, my mistake. We'll get to Bangladesh later. Damn it. I was going to mention Palau as well as the other one, but never mind.
Oh, never mind.
Right, well, next up, it is Yemen.
Yeah, one of the Gulf states. A lot of oil money around there these days.
I just keep thinking of Jamaica when I hear Yemen.
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 I'm from Kingston.
That was dreadful.
I know. It's supposed to be.
Oh, okay.
Next up, it is the Solomon Islands. Our second highest team in Oceania, if you obviously don't count the big guys in Australia.
Well, are they higher than New Zealand?
Nope. But New Zealand are here.
Oh, New Zealand are in the preliminaries?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Next up, it is Hong Kong.
Hong Thong?
Kong.
Oh, okay. Hong Kong is currently going through some civil unrest. It's a real shame. There's been a lot of violence over there, which hopefully it's resolved sooner rather than later.
Next up, it is Chinese Taipei. Or, in this game, Taipei.
Yeah, at one point in history, fun fact, Taipei had the tallest building in the world in it.
They did.
Or was it Taiwan? I can't remember.
I think it was Taiwan.
Yeah, and the building was called Taipei 101.
Oh.
Yeah.
Also, on Foot Battle, there seems to be a couple of teams that are actually from Chinese Taipei. So, Chinese Taipei have actually got their own league.
How about that?
Yet Scotland and Wales do not.
It's mental, isn't it? It is mental.
I don't think even Belgium has. I think like the US has one, Croatia's got one, England's got one, obviously. Romania's got one, yeah. But yeah, then Chinese Taipei's got their own league.
Crazy.
Which means that since they've got so many players and so many fans and everything, that some of the players that come out on the transfer market are actually from Chinese Taipei. So that's cool.
That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice.
Next up, it is Myanmar.
Burma.
I knew you were going to say Burma.
That's what they're called.
Myanmar.
Yeah, Myanmar.
It was like you saying, like... No, we ain't going to get into that. Well,
No.
I will mention it when it is necessary, but I'm not going to mention it now.
You'll get there.
For reasons that I'm not going to explain.
Oh, okay.
Next up, it is Turkmenistan.
One of the many stands.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
One of the many stand...
Yeah, I stand them.
Oh! Bloody... The Philippines!
Philippines. My old boss used to come from the Philippines.
Cool.
Yeah.
And last but not least, here's New Zealand.
Surprised they're in there. But I'm sure they'll win.
I'm sure they'll be pretty okay, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I hope.
You'd like to think so.
Yeah, exactly. They barely missed out on automatic qualification thanks to our good old friends Tajikistan, who
Yes,
are
I
actually
remember.
higher than them in the rankings at the moment.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Yeah. So Papua New Guinea is going to be the dud team for this league, and let's kick off.
Let's get this ball rolling.
So first off, oh my god, we have got one hell of a match to kick off.
Go on.
It is New Caledonia versus Afghanistan.
Big match here.
Ends in a draw. Guessing
Wow.
we're going to be seeing that a lot.
For God's sake.
Next up, it's Malaysia versus Hong Kong.
Will Hong Kong disappear into the sea like the plane did? Wait, what? I'm so sorry. I take it all back.
They probably have disappeared because Malaysia just won 6-0.
Fucking hell. Oh, dear me.
Next up, it's diving for clothes shopping versus Burma. It's Burma. Burma going to win. Get 2-0 to Burma. Myanmar beat Maldives 2-0.
Oh,
Singapore getting some points on the board now. They've got old Papua New Guinea. I wonder if there's a Mama New Guinea somewhere.
Oh, well, I was actually wondering if there was a Papa Old Guinea.
Mama Old Guinea?
Maybe.
Might be.
Granny
Old Guinea.
There's a lot of Guineas in the world. You've got Papua New Guinea, you've got Guinea-Bissau, Equatorial Guinea.
Guinea.
Ordinary
Guinea. Like 4 guineas.
Can we have actually for April Fools? I have a request. Can we have
guinea off.
A guinea tournament, yeah.
A guinea tournament, like a mini tournament.
Yeah, a mini guinea.
Small tournament for the guineas.
A mini guinea tournament.
You know who's going to win that one, right?
Guinea.
Guinea.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Papua New Guinea will get destroyed because the other 3 guineas are at least okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow! And I've just noticed that man of the match was a Mr. N. Villeneuve.
Mate, what? Jacques,
N.
is that you?
Villeneuve.
Is that you?
Nick Villeneuve, is that him?
Sure. Anyway.
Solomon Islands versus Tahiti.
This is going to be a big match. Tahiti?
It's a 3-1 win for Tahiti, yeah?
Where's Tahiti there? I thought they weren't in it.
Yeah, Tahiti are in it.
Oh yeah, they were the team that beat Brazil, wasn't it? Or scored against Brazil.
Or some of that. Taipei now, Chinese Taipei, they've got Vanuatu.
Big match.
Why'd you have to say that?
It was 0-0, wasn't it?
It was. Big waste of time.
Big match, mate.
Turkmenistan versus Yemen. Yemen win, good.
Excellent.
New Zealand now versus the Philippines. Here's a match that we actually care about.
New Zealand should win, surely.
It's a 3-2 win for the Philippines.
What?
New Zealand not off to a good start here. Not at all.
No, that's a bad start.
Yep. Afghanistan versus Hong Kong now to kick off the second fixture.
My money's gonna have to go with... I don't know.
Well, there's certainly a clear-cut winner out of those two. Hong Kong 0. Afghanistan 12. 12. So, new record! So yeah, Afghanistan 12-0 against Hong Kong. That's now the record for this year so far.
Well done to Afghanistan there.
Next up is New Caledonia versus Malaysia.
You're going to go with a Malaysian win here.
It is a Malaysian win. Malaysia are off to a good start so far.
Good stuff in Malaysia.
Yep, and Maldives going to get some points on the board against Papua New Guinea.
Yep, unfortunately, Papua New Guinea not doing a good job.
Yeah, speaking of that, Papua New Guinea, they've also got some players in the old foot battle as well that come from Papua New Guinea. Because I've noticed, I think I bought like an elite player a star player that's from Papua New Guinea.
Oh, nice.
I think he's an elite striker. I think he's not bad actually. I guess. I mean, he's no Julian Morrison, but you know.
No, of course not.
But yeah, it's interesting about who actually plays it. I mean, the England League has gone from 26 teams down to 21.
Interesting.
Because of the small amount of people that play it. But still, 4,000 points for the winner.
Which was you?
No, that's this for this season coming up.
Oh.
No, last season I only got 3,100.
Huh.
Anyway, next up it is Singapore versus Burma.
Singapore for me.
Nah, it's a win for Burma. Burma.
Myanmar win.
Yep. Taipei now. Chinese Taipei versus the Sodomy Islands? The Solomon Islands.
The Sodomy Islands.
It's a draw.
Oh.
Vanuatu versus Tahiti. Now it's a battle between two Oceania teams.
Here we go.
It's a win for Tahiti. Tahiti doing really well so far.
So far, so good for Tahiti, and you've got to think they're playing quite well.
Yeah, Philippines now versus Yemen.
Now, Philippines had a great start, beating New Zealand.
Yeah. And they're still going with it. A 4-0 win over Yemen.
Very good result for them.
Yep. Now it's New Zealand versus Turkmenistan.
Must be a win for New Zealand.
It's a 2-1 win for Turkmenistan.
What?
New Zealand are in 14th so far.
It's a bad start for the All Blacks, and I think they're going to have to start playing better than this.
Yep. Malaysia now have got Afghanistan. Afghanistan currently in 5th. Malaysia top of the league.
So far, so good for Malaysia.
They're still going. 2-0 win for Malaysia.
Good result. Very good result. Well done, Malaysia.
Yep. Next up, it's New Caledonia versus Hong Kong.
Hong Thong.
Have just it's been pulled up, to be honest. 3-0 to Dominican Republic, aka New Caledonia.
Big wedgie.
Big, massive wedgie. Very, very, very chafed at that point.
Oof.
Horrible.
Oof.
Gonna need some Vaseline.
Big
Next,
oof.
it's Singapore versus Maldives.
Singapore for me.
Two teams are very close, actually. It's Singapore with a 5-1 win.
Big result for them. Big
Maldives, and now it's time for Papua New Guinea to drop some points to...
result.
I wonder how long it's going to be before you get that annoyed at this. Now, probably.
I've got time. Sorry, I just yawned.
Oh, you're getting bored of it? I want you to get annoyed.
I'm just tired.
Damn you. On honest note, we have been doing this for like 3 hours at this point, and we're not stopping yet.
Nope.
So, it's like, come on, no, we got a couple of days off. We need to get at least, like, maybe half of this done.
I know.
Today, that'd be nice. I'm just saying it for the viewer.
Poor viewer.
The one viewer.
Hi, out there, one viewer.
Hello. Oh, wow, and the man of the match for that match was B. Quinn Tum.
Huh.
Nice. Who plays for Burma? Okay, so our next match is Solomon Islands versus Vanuatu. It seems like these Oceania teams seem to be facing each other a lot at the start here.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that we're going to probably see Solomon Islands lose this one.
Nope, it's a win.
Wow.
1-0 win for Solomon Islands.
There you go.
Tahiti, playing the best out of all the Oceania teams so far. They've got Chinese Taipei, who are 12th.
Here we go then. Big match.
It's another win for Tahiti.
Tahiti, slowly but surely, could they end up being the surprise team in this?
They could be. New Zealand, Yemen now. New Zealand need a win.
They do, desperately.
They get one. 1-0 win over Yemen.
Excellent stuff for them, well done.
Philippines now versus Turkmenistan.
Turkmenistan probably the likely victors here.
Ooh, it's a draw between the two. So at the moment, we've got 4 teams that have not lost a game yet in Malaysia, Myanmar, Tahiti, and the Philippines.
There we go.
With the Philippines, the only of those 4 to drop points.
Which is kind of crazy when you think about it.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice 3-way battle for first between Malaysia, Myanmar, and Tahiti so far.
Next up, not really the teams you kind of expected, though, is it?
Exactly, yes. Definitely, I would not expect those guys. Afghanistan, Maldives next.
Gonna go for Afghanistan to win this one.
It is 12-0 Afghanistan.
That's an equal record.
That's an equal record. Not
them twice.
Record jingle yet.
Well, them twice. They did it both of them.
It's not a record breaker though, so we can't do the jingle, I'm afraid. But I'm sure we'll do it at some point in this video again.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it. Next up, it is New Caledonia versus Bimi. And it's a draw between the two sides.
Fair enough.
So still, Myanmar looking pretty good. They still have not lost a game yet.
So far, so good for them.
Yep. Hong Kong about to pull it out of their arse and actually get a 3-point win this time over Papua New Guinea.
Ah, poor Papua New Guinea. Once again, just tragic luck.
Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it? The reason is that all their players were playing were playing actually games for football teams.
Oh, right,
and they were just too knackered.
Fair enough, I can understand it.
To play. Well, it is more important, let's be honest. Like, would you rather your favourite team win 4 Champions Leagues in a row than your national team winning 1 World Cup? If you are an Englishman, the World Cup's more important.
I don't know, man. Champions League's good shit, you know.
Yeah, but if you're an Englishman, the World Cup's more important. If you're, let's say, a Spaniard, you probably wouldn't care.
Yeah, because it's probably like you could have it either way. I mean, Barcelona
Yeah.
are good enough to win Champions League after Champions League.
Yep. Okay, next up, Malaysia versus Singapore.
Bit of a derby, this one.
Yep, 2 teams in the top 8 so far. Get ready for that jingle, Sam.
It's a new world record.
It's Malaysia 14, Singapore 0. Nice. There you go. The jingle seems to keep changing. It was not that earlier.
Right, you can change whatever it likes.
Oh, it's got one of those minds, is it? Jeez. Keep it nowhere near me. I don't want to have divorce proceedings later along in my life. Next up, it's Yemen, the Solomon Islands. Solomon Islands are actually 9th at the moment. They're not doing too bad at all.
Yemen doing alright as well.
They're at 11th.
Well, they got a win for the first game, didn't they?
Yeah, but then it just didn't go very well. But they fought back. It's 5-0 win for Yemen there.
Big result for them. Big result.
Yeah. Turkmenistan now versus Tahiti.
2 teams towards the top.
It's a 4-1 win for Turkmenistan.
Big result for Turkmenistan there.
Yeah, Tahiti staying 3rd for the moment. But that could all change with Philippines versus Taipei.
Philippines have been strong so far as well.
Yeah, been 5th place so far. And they've just moved up to 3rd with a win.
Good result for Philippines. Well done them.
New Zealand now versus Vanuatu. Vanuatu currently 15th.
It's got to be a win. It's got to be a win for New Zealand.
New Zealand in 11th. And it's a 4-0 win for New Zealand. They're up to 7th.
They need to start picking up those wins. They need to keep that up now.
Yep. With us over a quarter of the way through now, it's time for Myanmar, Afghanistan. Afghanistan currently in 5th, Myanmar in 2nd.
Myanmar have started strongly. I think they'll do alright here.
Afghanistan win 3-0.
Wow, there you go.
Yep, and next up is New Caledonia versus Maldives. 2 teams at sort of like the bottom half, you could say.
Yeah, two lesser teams, I suppose. I don't really know who's going to win this one, I'll be honest with you.
It is, though, a win for New Caledonia. They're up to 6th now.
Good result. Well done for them.
Hong Kong now versus Singapore.
Probably a Singapore win, I think.
No, Hong Kong get the win.
Crucial for them. That's big for them because that means they can now start to try and build up on this.
Yep, Malaysia are going to get their 5th consecutive victory here with a win over Papua New Guinea.
Malaysia looking very strong, I think. I think they're going to be tough to beat, and I think realistically probably going to win this bracket.
Yeah, they are looking the front runners, in my opinion.
Strong start. It's all because they got rid of that element of them, isn't it?
Yes.
Always rated Malaysia. Always rated Malaysia.
That element.
Mhm.
Yes.
That one.
So, I said to myself that I was going to keep my mouth shut on it, and I'm gonna. I'm sticking to my guns, damn it! Sticking to my guns. Right. So with that massive annoyance out the way, that was that person's entire life.
The unpleasantness.
Yes. Malaysia with a win, and they're looking pretty strong right now. Really strong, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next up, it's Solomon Islands, currently in 12th, versus Turkmenistan, who are currently in 7th.
We'll see.
7-0 win for Turkmenistan.
They're playing well, aren't they?
Yep. Tahiti now take on Yemen. Oh, it's a win for Yemen.
Good result for Yemen.
Things are going wrong for Tahiti.
Are they going to do a Georgia, do you think?
They might do. It's New Zealand versus Taipei next. And it's a 3-0 win. New Zealand on the rise.
They need to be, really, because they've started so poorly.
3 consecutive wins in a row for New Zealand.
Yep.
Vanuatu versus Philippines here. Vanuatu 15th. Philippines in 4th. 7-0 to Philippines.
Well done to Philippines.
So, a third of the way through, and at the moment, Tahiti is in the dud box.
Not really where you want to be.
And Malaysia are 2 ahead at the top of the table.
And I think probably going to stay there. I think.
Yep. Afghanistan versus Papua New Guinea's next. So that's some very much needed points for Afghanistan, who are doing pretty well, I'd say, so far.
Yeah, Afghanistan have started very strongly. I think they're one of the stronger teams in the bracket. To be honest, I'm surprised they haven't started better.
Yeah, but now they're getting the wins, they're getting the goals, and they're pushing forward, which is good for Afghanistan. They certainly need it at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But they're looking pretty strong at the moment, and you know they're looking, if they can just keep it up, they should be a shoo-in to make it.
Yep.
And with that, we are moving on to our next match with Afghanistan up to second.
They're playing well now. Like I say, they started fairly slowly, but again, you know, much like who was in the last bracket? Scotland, basically. They started off quite slowly and just picked up.
Yeah. And next, it's Singapore versus New Caledonia.
Probably going to go for a Singapore win here.
It isn't. It's a big win for New Caledonia. They jumped from 9th to 4th.
Brilliant result. Well done to them.
Yeah. Maldives versus Hong Kong. It's two teams in the lower end of it, 13th and 11th respectively.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a 1-0 win for Maldives, and they move up to 10th. Hong Kong down to 12th.
Very interesting.
And you remember how good Myanmar was doing? They're down to 6th at the moment, and they've got Malaysia next.
Malaysia is probably the toughest team they could play as well.
Yep, and it's a 2-0 win for Malaysia. Myanmar falling fast.
Yep, it's a problem for Myanmar. They need to start picking up some wins now. They need to get some. They might have played some easier teams at the start. That's the problem for them.
It certainly could be. Next up, it's Philippines, who are 3rd, versus Solomon Islands, who are 13th.
It's got to be the win for the team up in 3rd, hasn't it?
It's 14-0.
There you go.
Record's been tied.
But it's not a. You don't get a. What's it called yet, do you?
No jingle yet.
No jingle yet.
Nope. Next up, it's New Zealand versus Tahiti. It's a 4-0 for New Zealand.
Yeah, well done to New Zealand. Very strong effort from them, and they're doing well. They're starting to pick up the form now.
Yep. Taipei, Yemen next. Yemen currently in 8th. Taipei down in 14th. And it's a win for Yemen.
Yeah, not looking good for Taipei, is it? I think they're pretty much, they need to start either winning every game from now on, or they've had it.
Yep. And lastly, it's Turkmenistan versus Vanuatu, which ends in a 10-0 win for Turkmenistan. No one's surprised by that.
No, Vanuatu, not a good team.
Yep. Tahiti fall to 9th now. Myanmar down to 8th after a really good start. Philippines hanging on to Malaysia's coattails at the moment. At the top there.
Yep, absolutely.
Singapore now versus Afghanistan. Afghanistan currently in 3rd. Singapore in 11th.
Wow.
3-0 for Afghanistan. They're staying up there with the other teams.
Afghanistan are probably one of the stronger teams in this. As I said, like they started kind of slowly, but they've won 12-0 twice. You don't win 12-0 twice by accident.
Yeah. Well, in this game you do.
Well, true.
I've seen some of the worst teams in the games win like 12-0, 13-0 because they've been going up against Macau.
Like even shitter teams.
Yeah. Conveniently, they do exist.
Yep.
People.
They
For
do.
people who don't know, yeah, they do exist. Like there are
San
teams
Marino.
worse than the prelims.
San Marino.
Yeah, San Marino didn't make it. Faroe Islands didn't make it this time round.
The Vatican.
Vatican's not in this game.
Oh, okay.
For good reason, because I don't want to play against the Pope in goal.
Yeah, put Big John Paul in goal, mate. Come on.
So you put John Paul in goal, then who's the rest of the players?
Benedict on the right. Fucking...
Gravestone.
No, one of them's still alive now, isn't he? There was a pope that abdicated, wasn't there?
I didn't finish my gravestones. I was only going to do 9.
Oh, alright, okay.
I was kidding. I was going to do 10.
Okay.
Sod it. Probably by the time this is by the time this video comes out, that could be a very dated by then.
Could be.
Anyway, next up it's Hong Kong versus Burma.
I'm gonna go for a Hong Kong win here.
Nope, it's Myanmar 7-0. They're back.
Wow, that's a brilliant result for them. 7-0.
Yeah, they were in 8th and they've just bounced back with that. Next up is Malaysia versus Maldives. Malaysia only let in 1 goal so far. And they've scored 30.
Sorry, how many have they scored?
They've scored 30.
More time.
They've scored 30 goals.
Oh, okay. Alright. Okay.
They've now let in 2 goals altogether, but they scored another 13.
Wow. 13-1.
Yeah, 43 goals scored now for Malaysia, which is good, so now I don't have to go through that dated reference.
So, what was it a reference to, though?
You and Anderson, you sod, you know. You know.
But the viewers might not know.
Yes, they do.
They don't know.
They do.
Just say it.
No.
Oh, okay.
If I say it, can you say shut up in your Brummy accent, then?
Yes, I can.
Good. All right. Hang on, I've got to try and find the... I'll say... Oh, hang on. Okay, so... Hey, Sam!
Yep.
Do you know how many goals Hong Kong has let in 7 games?
No, I don't, Chris.
Well, let me tell you, Sam. They've let in 30!
Shut up.
That was not... No.
Shut up.
It was like... No, it's just... Shut up.
Shut up.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
All right.
All right.
Right, now that we've self-deprecated, now let's move on.
Yep.
New Zealand versus Solomon Islands. New Zealand have had a nice resurgence.
They have a nice resurgence.
And it will carry on with a 3-1 win.
Good result.
Philippines now versus Tahiti. A 3-0 win for the Philippines. It was such a nice start for Tahiti, but...
It's all kind of gone out the window now, hasn't it?
Yep. Turkmenistan versus Chinese Taipei. 2-0 Turkmenistan. That was a decent performance from Taipei there, since they're crap.
Yeah, but they just still didn't do it.
Yep. Vanuatu versus Yemen to finish off the 7th fixture.
Yemen for me, 100%.
It is 2-0 for Yemen.
Well done to them.
Next up, fixture 8. Solomon Islands versus Afghanistan.
Afghanistan, absolutely.
Yep, 8-0 for Afghanistan.
They've scored a lot of goals, haven't they, Afghanistan?
They have. They've scored 43 at the moment.
Same as Malaysia.
Yep, Malaysia's got a game in hand.
True.
Next up, New Caledonia versus Tahiti.
Tahiti?
It's not.
Oh.
New Caledonia, 4-0.
Trying to come back up the rankings.
Yep, Tahiti have lost 5 on the bounce.
Started so well again.
Yep.
Just like Georgia.
Exactly. Chinese Taipei versus Hong Kong now.
Hong Kong for me.
It's a win for Chinese Taipei. They actually won a match.
Wow.
Their first victory here moves them up to 13th.
Albeit briefly, probably.
Well, Malaysia's got Vanuatu next, so it's 1st versus 15th. Get ready with the jingle. We may have to hear it.
We may have to hear it.
No, but it's 11-0.
Oh, so you know, there's just now 54 goals in 8 games.
Yep.
Wow.
In 8 games.
Wow.
Yemen versus Maldives. Yemen currently in 7th.
Probably give you a Yemen win, I think. Maldives aren't that strong.
Yep, 4-0 for Yemen.
We're starting to see a bit of a pattern emerge here. We've got the really strong teams and then the very weak teams here starting to split apart.
Yep, next up is Turkmenistan versus Burma.
It's probably one of the tougher matches. I think Turkmenistan will win it, though.
It's a 1-1 draw.
Ooh. I have just noticed, by the way, Malaysia are actually former Asia section champions.
Yep, they are.
They won in 2010, 10 years ago.
Well, maybe it could be their time this up. The fact they've come down this low, that is like why Czech Republic was in it, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame.
From last week.
Yep.
Anyway, the next match is Philippines versus Papua New Guinea. So that's some points for Philippines there.
Yep.
Like they need any more because they're doing pretty well, but
yeah,
still.
I think Philippines will probably qualify either way, but it's just, you know, they've got to... Yeah. Probably
some
just
extra
be
points would be nice.
Yeah, exactly.
As we go over the halfway point of this, and it's going to be very interesting, and I need to get a drink of water probably after this one.
Fair enough.
Because my voice is going south fast.
You clapped, mate.
Indeed. Next, it is New Zealand versus Singapore.
Probably going to say New Zealand.
Yeah, definitely. 11-0. Yeah, definitely.
Wow. Wowie.
Yeah. Tahiti now versus Afghanistan to kick off the 9th fixture.
Well, here we go then. Let's see.
It's a draw between the two.
There you
Tahiti
go.
kind of able to stop their roll, but still not looking good. New Caledonia versus Solomon Islands is next. It's a 2-0 win for New Caledonia. They're up to 4th.
Good effort from New Caledonia.
Yep, it's Hong Kong Vanuatu now.
Here we go.
It's a draw between the two. That's
Wow.
not looking very good for Hong Kong at all.
It's really not looking good for Hong Kong, is it?
Yep, Malaysia now versus Taipei.
I don't know.
3-0 to Malaysia, and they carry on.
Malaysia's just so strong, aren't they? They've really come up strong, and they're doing a great job.
They certainly have, yeah. And Maldives now versus Turkmenistan.
It's a good question.
13-0 to Turkmenistan.
But on new record.
Very close.
Not quite.
Yeah. Myanmar versus Yemen. Myanmar in 8th, still have a chance. Yemen in 7th.
There you go. But Yemen are still there for now.
It's a draw between the two.
Wow.
This is bad for Myanmar. Myanmar are 4 behind Yemen, who were in 7th. New Zealand are about to get points because they're playing Papua New Guinea. So between 8th and 7th, there's currently 4 points.
It's very close.
But there's 4 points.
It's starting to get a bit of a gap, but it's still not, immediately apparent, is it? So
Yeah, it's not impossible because we've still got 6 matches to go, but still. Ooh, it seems like a lot of teams are just immediately just either going through or out. So it could be that we could have this before the last game, before the last fixture, we could know who's going through and who isn't.
Well, we might do. We'll see.
At this point, we certainly could be.
Here we go.
And with that match over, and Mr. R. Ferguson, the
son of Alex, maybe?
Duncan.
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
Well, surely Alex Ferguson's like a granddad at this point, surely.
Maybe even a great granddad. He's like, must be nearly 90, mustn't he?
He's about 104, isn't he?
I don't know.
I think he's like 78, 82, something like that.
Let's have a look. I'll Google it while you carry
Cool.
on.
Philippines versus Singapore. Philippines currently in 2nd. Singapore down in 11th.
Let's go with Philippines, surely.
Yep, 5-0.
Alex Ferguson, by the way, is 77 years old.
Oh, I said 78. I was close.
He was born on New Year's Eve.
I was very close then.
Yeah, he was born on New Year's Eve in 1941.
So I was like 4 weeks out. Less than 4 weeks out.
Yeah, not bad at all.
That's pretty damn good. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Right. 10th fixture. We're getting to the... we're getting past the 2nd, 3rd now after this with Afghanistan versus Taipei.
Absolutely.
And Afghanistan with a 2-0 win. No, things are starting to wind down a bit when it comes to scoring.
Yeah, you're not getting the 15-0ers anymore.
Yep. New Caledonia now versus Vanuatu. 3-0 is the score for Dominican Republic. New Caledonia.
New Caledonia looking like they're probably going to qualify here.
They are in 4th at the moment. They are looking pretty good.
Looking solid so far. They still a bit to go, but they're getting there.
Yep. Solomon Islands now versus Hong Kong. Both these teams, I think they're out of it at this point.
Pretty much out of it, but you never know.
But a win for Hong Kong may push them back into it, possibly. That puts them 5 behind 8th.
They need a good run, and they need the team 8 to have a bad run.
Yep. Malaysia versus Tahiti now.
Surely a Malaysia win here.
6-1 to Malaysia, but they've let in another goal. They're now letting 3.
Oh dear. But they scored a lot.
Yeah, they've scored 63.
Exactly.
Yeah. Maldives now versus the Philippines. Maldives in 12th, Philippines in 2nd.
Philippines, if they win this, have taken one step closer to overall victory.
Yes, and they have, and it is 10-1 to Philippines.
Remember when you said the goals were calming down?
Well, they were for a bit.
For a second.
Okay, New Zealand, Myanmar. This will be a small one. 3-0. This next one's definitely going to be a small one. I can predict the result of the next one. Papua New Guinea versus Yemen. 3-0, Yemen.
It's going to be 3-0 to Yemen, yeah.
I'm not saying I'm Nostradamus, even though in a playthrough I have said that I am Nostradamus.
And are you Nostradamus?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Definitely am. Like I knew the referee was going to be that conspirating bastard Jay Braun.
Oh, right, okay.
Sod's back. Can't the Global Trophy Committee Board just sack him?
Possibly.
I wish they would. I wish you could change the names of the referees.
Just like mixed up a little bit.
Yeah. So I'd have like... Hugh Jass as a ref, I don't know. And he turns up and, you know, they try and pass the ball and his ass gets in the way and it just goes... Pop. It bounces straight off the arse and into the goal. And it's like the referee scores like all the goals. Because they just can't get the ball past his arse. Great. Brilliant. You'd be like Rocket League only if one of your cars was a massive arse.
Well, I don't play Rocket League, so...
I do. Not much, but I do.
Oh, okay.
Next up, it's Singapore versus Turkmenistan.
I don't know who's going to win this one.
It's Turkmenistan. Well, it's 11-0. Okay.
Wow.
We're starting to come back now with the goals.
Yeah, there's big goals, mate.
Yep. But with 5 fixtures to go, Malaysia just need 1 more point and they've qualified already.
There we go then. That was a brilliant performance from Malaysia.
Yep. Vanuatu versus Afghanistan first. Afghanistan in 5th. Vanuatu on 2 points. 5-0 Afghanistan. No one is surprised by that.
Yeah, who thought that, eh? Ugh.
Yep.
New Caledonia next. Against the footballing powerhouse of Vanuatu.
Hey, they're amazing. I'll say that much. Jeez, they're brilliant. They suck. Right, New Caledonia now versus Chinese Taipei.
I'm gonna say New Caledonia for a win this one.
Taipei with a shocker of a win.
Wow.
You don't get that very often. Taipei up to 11th, like it really matters, but still, good win there for them. They'll be singing about that for decades.
Unreal. Unreal.
Tahiti now versus Hong Kong. Tahiti in 9th, Hong Kong in 10th.
They've both got an outside chance of making it.
It's a very outside chance, but Tahiti with the win. They finally got their first win in 8.
Wow. So it pulls them back closer to that 8th place, which they need, but you never know.
Yep. Next up, it's Malaysia versus the Solomon Islands. Remember, a point puts Malaysia through.
Surely it'll be very easy.
13-0. Malaysia's through.
Too
First
easy.
through.
Too easy.
Yep. New Zealand currently in 4th versus Maldives, who are languishing in 13th.
There you go.
12-0 for New Zealand.
They've started to really pick up their game, haven't they?
Indeed. Now it's Philippines versus Myanmar.
Myanmar, probably for me.
It's a tie between the two. That's a shocker to see second tie with 8th.
There you go.
Now Turkmenistan going to get a nice 3 points here against Papua New Guinea. Trying to reel in the Philippines.
So far, they're doing alright as well, though, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely. But Malaysia, first team through. We just got 7 to go, pretty much.
Well, it's not really surprising that they went through. They've been the standout team from the word go, really. And Malaysia, for me, could be a real factor in this Asia competition as well.
Well, like the time they were when they went on to win the Asia qualifiers.
Yeah, it's 10 years ago now. It's kind of a long time, isn't it?
It could be. Maybe it's been 10 years. Maybe it's about time they do it again. Could be.
Still got to beat Australia.
Well, Australia, as we found out from last season,
they are beatable.
Or from last year, they're not invincible in these now. So
no,
they are beatable. They are stoppable.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And Yemen versus Singapore to end off the 11th fixture. It's a 2-0 win for Yemen. So as we look at it so far,
with 4 to go,
Philippines and Malaysia are both through.
there you go. Well done to the
Malaysia's on
Philippines.
33, Philippines on 29, New Zealand on 27, Turkmenistan on 26, Afghanistan on 26, Yemen on 25, New Caledonia on 23, Myanmar is on 16.
Another team in 8th.
Yeah,
Wow. There's a big gulf.
exactly. Yemen versus Afghanistan now. 2 teams in that top 8. And it's a win for Afghanistan.
They're looking very strong again. They're getting closer, aren't they?
Yep. Next up, it's Turkmenistan versus New Caledonia. Another 2 teams in that top 8.
New Caledonia, probably the closest team to being threatened, but if they win here, it puts them in a very strong position.
It ends in a draw between the 2.
Well, there's 8 points difference.
Yep.
If is it Tahiti in 8th place?
Myanmar.
Myanmar. If Myanmar don't win their next game, then it's pretty much a certainty that they'll all going to qualify anyway.
Certainly could be, yes. Hong Kong, Philippines next. Philippines already through.
Yep, comfortably so.
Yep. And, they win against Hong Kong 5-1. Afghanistan have also qualified.
Congratulations to Afghanistan.
New Zealand now versus Malaysia. Another 2 of the teams in the top 8.
If New Zealand win, they do qualify. If they don't, then it depends on what Myanmar do.
It's a draw.
Don't think it's. Oh, it is. Oh,
Which-
the best they can do now is finish 8th, so they're through, but they can be the dud team.
Yep. And it all depends on if Myanmar win their match. So next up is Maldives versus Solomon Islands. 2 teams that are pretty much out of it at this point, I think.
I think anyone other than Myanmar are pretty much out of it at this point.
Maldives with the win, 2-0.
Well done to Maldives.
Up to 11th. Next up, it's Myanmar versus Tahiti.
This is a big match. This is basically Myanmar need to win to keep themselves in it.
It's a draw between the 2.
So that guarantees New Zealand through to the next round.
Yes, it does. It also guarantees Turkmenistan through as well.
What about Yemen? What's the gap?
8.
So they need 1 point from 3 games.
2 from 3,
Well,
technically.
yeah, two for certainty, but one point to get the dud team at least.
2 from 3 games Yemen need. Dominican Republic, aka New Caledonia, need 1 win out of 3.
Should be easy enough.
Taipei versus Papua New Guinea now. So some points for Taipei.
They deserve it.
Certainly needed, yep. So at the moment we've got 3 teams left. And 2 of them will be able to qualify, 1 won't, and that could be this next fixture coming up. Where it ends and Myanmar is stuck as the dud team. Certainly could be.
Well, can they be caught?
They can be caught, but
They can't
they're
catch.
6 ahead.
Oh, fair enough. So
Oh, no, hang on. No, they're 3 ahead because they drew with Tahiti, didn't they?
Yeah.
So, yeah, 3 ahead of Tahiti.
So they can be caught, but they can't. I mean, unless something catastrophic happens to the team above them, they can't really catch them.
Yeah. So, last one, Singapore versus Vanuatu. No one really cares. It ends in a 0-0 draw, so definitely no one cares.
Yep.
Afghanistan and Turkmenistan, 2 teams that are already through. And it's a draw between the 2 teams. I'm sure they'll be happy with that.
In the stand derby, yeah.
Yep. Yemen and Dominican Republic battling it out now. So the winner of this match goes through.
Yep, one goes through automatically.
One could still make it later. And it's a win for New Caledonia. They're through.
They've made it into the top 60. Well, top 8 anyway of this.
Yep.
And then through to the actual Global Trophy finals. Well,
Yep. New Zealand now have
qualifiers.
got Hong Kong. New Zealand already through as well. 7-0 for New Zealand. They're up to 3rd.
Yeah, they started slowly, but New Zealand have really come on strong at the end.
Now it's finally Malaysia, Philippines. 12 matches each of these have played, and neither has lost a game yet.
So it's finally time to see someone lose, or maybe a draw.
5-1 Malaysia.
Huge win for Malaysia. Are they going to win every game?
Well, they've drawn 1 so far,
Oh,
but
who did they draw against?
I can't remember.
Know what I mean?
But it could be they could finish on more than 100 goals scored, because they're currently on 82 with 2 to go.
That's crazy. Can they score 8? They need to average 9.
They could do that.
They could.
Maldives now versus Tahiti. Tahiti can still catch Myanmar.
They can.
3-0 win. They are now level with Myanmar.
Who's got the better goal difference?
Myanmar has.
Okay.
Myanmar now versus the Solomon Islands.
Surely a Myanmar win.
8-0 win for Myanmar.
That's a huge result. That pretty much sealed it, I think.
Yeah, Tahiti. Yeah, pretty much. Vanuatu have got Papua New Guinea, so finally Vanuatu are going to get a win on the board.
It's far too little, far too late.
Yeah, way too late. I mean, Vanuatu was the team to barely make it through to have a chance of being in the preliminaries, and well, they just haven't made the chance of it, have they? They just haven't done it, and it's well, it's come back to hurt them because as I cough my lungs up, yes, it's just been tough really on Vanuatu and on a lot of the teams really. Within the first sort of couple of games, you could see exactly who was, who had a chance and who didn't really. I thought you'd gone then.
No, I'm still here.
Okay, Taipei, Singapore, last match of the 13th.
I mean, it's very much a nothing match, isn't it?
Yeah, Taipei does get the win though.
Fair play to Taipei. Well done.
So Yemen require 2 points still
to guarantee
them getting the last spot that's not a dud team into the Asia Oceanian Qualifiers. Afghanistan versus Philippines is first though. Second versus fourth, both teams through. It's a draw between the two sides.
There you go.
Next up, New Caledonia versus New Zealand. Again, both teams through.
Nice and comfortable for both of them.
But a win for New Zealand puts them up into second.
Wow.
Great move for them. Hong Kong now versus Yemen.
This is a big match then.
Big match for Yemen. Yemen win and Myanmar are the dud. It's a 4-1 win for Yemen. It's over.
They've done it. Well
We've
done.
got our top 7.
Well done.
Malaysia now versus Turkmenistan in 5th. 3-1 for Malaysia.
And they've got unbeaten as well.
Yep. So Malaysia are the winners.
Comfortably.
Comfortably the winners. Maldives versus Taipei.
It's very much a nothing match.
Yep, Taipei gets the win and goes above Tahiti though.
Oh wow, so they finished 9th.
For the moment, yep.
Yeah,
Vanuatu takes on Myanmar, which Myanmar does win 7-1 or 7-0.
Wow.
But it's just not enough.
No.
They got the win. Yemen got the win they needed, and they will be going through.
And they will be competing in the Asia section of the Global Trophy.
Yep, and Myanmar looking pretty certain, unless something goes massively wrong, and Tahiti takes 8th instead.
How many goals do they need?
I think about 20 odd, so that's not going to happen.
Yeah, so if they break the world record and get the most goals ever in a match, then they can have it, but it's not going to happen, I don't think.
I don't think so. Solomon Islands are going to get 3 points here against Papua New Guinea.
Good result for them.
Some extra points to finish off for the Solomon Islands.
Yeah, the poor Oceania teams didn't apart from
New Zealand. Partially Tahiti.
Yeah, I guess.
Yep. Speaking of Tahiti, they've got Singapore now. And it's a 2-1 loss for Tahiti. So that means that Myanmar will definitely be the dud.
Fair play.
So, yeah.
And it also means that Chinese Taipei finish in 9th.
Yeah, for the moment. We've still got one fixture to go, so it could go bad, but we'll see. New Zealand are currently 2nd versus Afghanistan in 4th. New Zealand with the win.
Fair play. Well done to New Zealand.
Solidifies them as 2nd. Next up is New Caledonia versus Philippines. Again, 2 more teams that are through already.
It's very much a, for pride moment now.
Yep, and Philippines gets the win. So New Caledonia are going to be in 7th.
They do survive though, and they are through.
Yep, Hong Kong now versus Turkmenistan. Hong Kong in 11th, Turkmenistan in 5th. They are no longer in 5th with a 7-1 win.
There you go.
Malaysia versus Yemen. Yemen already through in 6th. Malaysia, obviously the winners of this.
Can they go unbeaten? One more.
Yes, they can.
There you go.
2-0.
They don't get the 100 goals, but they do score 43 points again. Same as Czech Republic last week, actually.
Yeah, very well played there from Malaysia. Next, it's Maldives Vanuatu. We're just finishing these off now with a 1-0 win for Maldives. We go up to 11th. Taipei and Myanmar ends up with a win for Taipei.
Well done, Taipei.
Tahiti are about to get 3 points against Papua New Guinea here. So that's a nice... I think Tahiti has done pretty well here. I think they did all right, you know. I mean, for an Oceania team that's not New Zealand or Australia, I think they've done pretty well.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. They've certainly done better than bloody Solomon Islands and Vanuatu.
Yeah, all things considered, I think they did a good job. I mean, it could have been worse.
Exactly, and they were pretty mid-table, so I think they'll take that and know sort of like how close they were, you could say. So, you know, something to look forward to for next year.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, they can be happy with, you know, it wasn't their best performance, but you know what, they did a good job, and you know they were competing against some really tough teams.
Yeah, and Solomon Islands versus Singapore to finish off. 13th versus 14th with a 2-1 win for Singapore.
Shite.
Yeah. So here are the scores for the Asia and Oceania preliminaries. In 15th place with 6 points is Vanuatu.
Nice.
14th with 7 points is Solomon Islands, who let in 69 goals.
Nice.
13th place with 10 points is Hong Kong.
Good result.
No. 12th with conveniently 12 points, and the highest minus goal difference out of all the teams is Maldives, even though they won 4 games.
Crazy.
11th with 13 points is Singapore.
I expected Singapore to do better, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they had a minus 47 goal difference, they did. Singapore. Maldives had minus 67, by the way.
Oh, that's just not good, really, is it?
Yeah. Okay, now it jumps up a bit. 10th place with 20 is Tahiti.
They did a good effort, I think.
Yeah, as did 9th place, Taipei, Chinese Taipei. That was a good comeback.
Yeah, good scrap from Chinese Taipei. And do you know what? Fair play to them for getting so close.
Yeah. 8th place, the dud team on 23 points is gonna be not my guys, a Burma.
Oh my God, if you prefer.
Yes, exactly. Myanmar, the dud team, which not Burma.
Not Burma.
7th place with 27 points, is New Caledonia, represented by the Dominican Republic.
Surprised they made it through. And I think you are as well, kind of, because we didn't really think the Dominican Republic would be able to pull them through.
I am a bit shocked, just the fact that it's Dominican Republic that has put them through.
Yeah.
So yeah, very shocked by that. 6th place with 28 points, Yemen.
Yemen. Struggled early on, but they eventually got there, didn't they?
Yeah, indeed. 5th with 31, Afghanistan.
Yeah. They scored a lot of goals, didn't they? They scored a lot of goals.
They scored altogether 56.
Yeah, they scored a lot of goals. I think they won a 12-0 twice, which is kind of crazy when you think about it.
I believe they did, yeah. Next, in 4th place, with 31 points, Turkmenistan.
Fair enough.
I think a good performance from Turkmenistan.
Yeah, I mean, again, I didn't really expect them to do that well.
Next up, probably should have expected this. 3rd place with 36 points, Philippines.
They did all right, didn't they, Philippines? I think they were quite strong early on, and obviously they only lost 1 game.
Yep, they did very well. 2nd place with 37, New Zealand.
Slow start, but eventually they got going, and they were really strong after that. And I think, you know, if they hadn't had the slow start, they probably could have won this. I mean, Malaysia were very good. Don't get me wrong, Malaysia were very good, but they did the business they needed to do. And 2nd place, good effort from New Zealand.
Exactly, very good effort there from New Zealand. But the winner, with 43 points and a plus 81 goal difference, Malaysia.
Very strong effort from Malaysia, and yeah, watch out, Asia. I think they could end up doing quite well.
Exactly. Maybe we'll see exactly what they did last, or 10 years ago, possibly.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
we'll
Malaysia have, well, obviously they qualified in first place. And we've got our teams, all 32 teams now for the Asia and Oceania section. That leaves just 2 more preliminary leagues to go.
Yep, absolutely. Next week we're going over to Africa, to see how they get on. You've got to think as well, as for the Asia section, the thing I'm most looking forward to about this is seeing how Australia get on, because obviously they were unbeaten for so long.
14 years undefeated, yeah.
Yeah, and then...
Well, 14 years undefeated in qualifiers.
Yeah, undefeated in qualifiers. 14 years. They went over to Asia, they won the first 3 they were in. And then last year, Jordan stopped them.
Yeah.
Massive shock.
Yeah, and well, in 4 weeks' time, we'll be able to see how they will fare in the 2020 iteration of the qualifiers. And see how well they do. Maybe they'll see if they can get their form back. Maybe it's just a small blip on the radar. Or maybe this is the start of the fall of Australia.
We'll have to find out. Well, I'm excited. I'm really excited to see how they get on. It's going to be very intriguing to see if they are able to put back some form.
Certainly. But we will see you next week, because that's going to be in about a month or so when we get to the qualifiers. But for the moment, we still got the rest of the preliminaries to sort out. So next week we've got Africa.
Gah.
Indeed. We'll see you next week, guys.
Bye.